And speaking of valuable assets, look no further than NXT. I know we don't really talk about NXT often on the podcast, but I really wanted to discuss Wes Lee. Wes Lee, who has been a staple of NXT for the last couple of years, whether it was as the North American champion, the tag team champions with his MSK tag team partner Zachary Wentz, and now looking at the evolution of the character. We know the partnership within TNA has been going on for quite some time. I think it's been successful. I'm entertained by it. It's something fresh. It's something new. But given that a couple weeks ago, Wes Lee, following his loss to Obafemi, was left at a crossroads. He didn't know where to go. He didn't know what else he needed to do. He contemplated leaving NXT before a surprise return of Zachary Wentz, his MSK tag team partner, as well as another member of the Rascalz, Trey Miguel. See, back in 2020, Trey Miguel, Zachary Wentz, and Wes Lee were all members of the Rascalz in TNA. Unfortunately for them, they kind of dissolved when MSK, being Wentz and Wes Lee, had jumped to NXT. So we get a little reunion, and I love reunions. It was great. We had a couple of great six-man tags that involved the Rascalz, and ultimately it led to the NXT Tag Team Championship match last week when we saw Wentz and Wes Lee unfortunately lose to Axiom and Nathan Frazer. I thought, MSK was going to win the championship. I thought it'd be cool, a real cool moment and a fun storyline to move forward with this TNA partnership with NXT. But ultimately they were unsuccessful. And it led to Wes Lee just heartbroken by this loss. And unfortunately he takes it out on his partner Zachary Wentz and then on another friend, Trey Miguel. And he's screaming at them, you left me, you deserted me. Because there was a time being when they were the tag team champions, Zachary Wentz was surprisingly released for personal reasons. If you don't know, go ahead and look into it online. And seeing that type of storytelling, again, not insulting the intelligence of the audience member, but simply by saying, you left me, you deserted me here on NXT, I was by myself. Number one, it makes sense. I think some of the best villains are where you can see where they're coming from, where they are correct in their own mind. I can understand why Wes Lee is upset. He was alone. All he knew was wrestling with his brothers. So he was left to fend off for himself. But at the same time, it's not like it was Zachary Wentz's fault. He was released. He had to go. Did it catch me off guard? You better believe it. Am I looking forward to seeing where we go from it? Absolutely. We haven't seen Wes Lee as a heel in the WWE. And to see him as a solo heel competitor, I think will be very interesting, given his style. Not many times do we see successful, well, I don't want to say we don't see successful, but it's interesting to see smaller heels. Because a lot of times those kind of heels are like the cowardly ones who kind of punch you and then run away. I want to see Wes Lee tap this aggressive side. I don't want him to be the kind of heel who, picks a fight and then runs away. I want a conniving heel that really hones in on the idea of, like, number one, I know you don't like me, and number two, I don't care.